What is up, guys? Hope everybody is having a great day. I'm super excited to be releasing this content to really teach you how from start to finish you can get started on creating high quality short form content that converts and sells your ideal audience, all while just using your iPhone. I think a lot of times what happens is people are so focused on getting the right camera, having the perfect lighting, and they don't get started. But what this training will teach you to do is how from start to finish you can literally film with your iPhone and get high quality content that can help you build your brand and really target your ideal customer or audience. That way you can sell whatever product or service you have. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in the types of angles to film and exactly how to film them. So continue to watch this video and you'll be able to learn all that stuff from start to finish. This is an angle I like to call the sitting down angle. And so to give you context, this is being shot on my iPhone, but I have my mic on, and so the mic is always a game changer when it comes to filming with iPhone footage, because if you can increase the level of quality you have, in fact, you'll increase the production value you have because it'll be easier for people to consume. But when it comes to sitting down and filming on your iPhone, a couple things. One, use the back camera. Don't use the front camera for this angle because it'll come out a lot clearer, but we'll talk about if you want to use the front camera, how to do that. And then two, always put the camera a little bit above eye level, just slightly. So like if I stick out my hand right now, my eye level is here. The camera is probably about here for reference, but make sure it's slightly above eye level. That way you look a little bit better in the shot. One unpleasant shot, I think, is the shot on a tripod where it's shooting up looking at you. This shot makes everything look very level and natural to the eye. And so that's one thing. On top of that, some things you want to do as far as the settings on your phone is if you go to the camera settings and you go to the video settings, turn off HDR. And the reason why you want to turn off HDR is because when you put it into other editing apps, it comes out looking like really different and almost overexposed and too bright. So you need to do that. And then I always recommend either film in 60 frames a second or 24 frames a second. And that's usually in the top right of your phone, where you can change that. You just tap on it. So 24 or 60, preferably not 30. And then as far as the camera, make sure, like I said, it's tilted a little bit above eye level. As far as the tripod, any tripod really works. I have a setup that I've been using probably for the last year where it's a magnetic, MagSafe tripod head, and then it's a regular, we call it C-stand. The C-stand is probably 15 bucks on Amazon, and the tripod head is $15 as well. Because I have a MagSafe case on my phone, it works well for that too. And then as far as the Hollyland mic is a great mic to record the content and make sure that you sound crisp and clear. But if you don't have a mic, which I highly recommend you spend the $100 to get the mic, but if you don't have a mic, make sure that right now I'd say I'm probably about 3 feet away from the camera. That's probably the furthest you want to be from the camera, because once you get past 3 feet, the video may look decent, but it's not going to sound good. And even if you try to put it in an AI like audio cleaner, it's still not going to sound as professional. So make sure you have a mic. Make sure if you're not going to use a mic, you get no further than 3 feet away from the camera. Make sure it's slightly above eye level, slightly tilted, and then just find yourself an affordable yet efficient tripod style. And I'll put that link somewhere for you to check those out as well. But this is how you film in the sitting down position with an iPhone. This is a selfie style when it comes to filming with an iPhone, and a couple things I always tell people is really try to keep the phone above eye level. This is not necessarily a very pleasant shot, and I just don't think it looks very professional when it comes to editing the videos. But if you keep it here, a couple of things. One, you place your head in the center of the frame, which makes it easier to punch in and punch out when editing. But then two, you also look how you'll look naturally to the eye, whereas this angle or this angle doesn't necessarily look as normal. So that's the first thing. Second thing, like I said, highly recommend to get a mic. But if you don't have a mic, the great thing about the selfie style is your phone can't be super far away from you because of the fact that it's literally an arm's reach away. And so the last tip I have for you as far as filming selfie style is if you have a light source, like there's a window right here, make sure that the light source is hitting your face. That way you look clear and crisp on the shot. because if I turn around and show you without the light source, it doesn't look as professional, and then when you're backlit, it doesn't look good. So make sure that you have the light source in front of you. That way it can shine on your face and it can really make your content look better. That way when it comes time for post-production, it looks even better and you can deliver more value through the content that you're creating. This is what I call the selfie position as far as filming iPhone content. Like I said before, the back camera is better, but if you want to utilize the selfie camera, feel free to do that too. A couple tips when it comes to doing this. As you can see in the glare of my glasses, make sure that you face your phone. If your phone's going this way, put the natural light source right behind you. That way you're well lit, because you don't want to be backlit and look distorted. Another thing is, for this shot, I'm about 6'2", and the camera is probably at nose level and it's tilted forward. The reason why you don't want it at eye level is because it'll get too much negative space up here. But this view itself allows there to be enough room to punch in and punch out, but you can put the subtitles or the captions of the content that you're trying to create. So like I said before, natural light to the back of you, make sure it's right at nose level, the phone slightly tilted, and then that way, as always, make sure your audio is very professional. And if you're gonna do this route and you're not gonna necessarily have an audio source like a mic, again, no further than 3 feet away, because once you get further away, the content doesn't sound that good, and everybody knows that when it comes to creating content, audio is almost more of a priority than the visual. So this is the selfie shot. If you don't wanna use the sitting down shot or the handheld selfie shot, this is a great way to just connect your tripod, talk to the camera. That way you can begin creating content as well. And last but not least, this is what we call the standing holding shot. That's typically done by a lot of people who have somebody film their content for them. And so again, I'm about 4 to 5 feet away from the camera, but because I have an audio source, it can sound clear. Like I keep saying, I highly recommend you get a mic. If you don't get a mic, make sure that you get a little bit closer. But this is a great shot, not only for just filming in general, but this is great for you to get guidance on how to film when it comes time for somebody to hold the camera. So again, if you're somebody who's in sales, marketing, whatever it is, and you want to shoot a video, get somebody to hold the camera. If you see, I'm really filming from about above the knees, and then I have a little bit of headspace. That allows me to punch in and punch out, but that allows me to work and figure out the different angles I have with my content. I don't want to be too close, but I don't want to be too far away, because if I have to zoom in and I'm too far away, it's going to look blurry. And then if I'm too close, I don't have the ability to punch in if I need to increase the fluidity of the video. So 3 to 5 feet, have a microphone from the top of the knees with a little bit of headspace. And then as far as the camera setup, I set it up to where it's about nose level again, and it's slightly tilted this way. That way you see me in a natural form versus me looking distorted across the board.